Hi, my name is Kathryn Williams, and my essay is titled Racial Hierarchy in Harper Lee's To Kill a Mockingbird. There's something in our world that makes men lose their heads. They couldn't be fair if they tried. In our courts, when it's the white man's word against the black man's word, the white always wins. They're ugly, but these are the facts of life. This quote from To Kill a Mockingbird summarizes the theme of this novel as well as the culture of the Deep South in the 1930s. Harper Lee experienced a type of racial hatred and division that is unimaginable to the younger generations in modern times. When Harper Lee was 5 years old, she witnessed a trial of 9 black men accused of raping 2 white girls. There was no medical evidence supporting the rape, but regardless, the all-white jury found the defendants guilty. This trial was a motivation that would lead Lee to write To Kill a Mockingbird in her later years. When the novel was released in 1960, Lee shook up the ideals of a broken and inflamed America. In 1960, the Civil Rights Movement created the perfect backdrop for the debut of this novel. The Civil Rights Movement was ushering in new changes and growth for all Americans. To Kill a Mockingbird had a profound effect on American literature. This novel contributed to the rise of a new era of racial equality, unity, and peace in America. Harper Lee's childhood environment and experiences had a huge influence on her writing. Harper Lee grew up in the small town of Monroeville, Alabama in the 1930s and 1940s. Lee witnessed widespread segregation and racism throughout her childhood years. Racism was an ideology ingrained in the people surrounding Lee during her childhood. One specific event that stood out to Lee was the Scottsboro Boys case. The Scottsboro Boys case was a trial where 9 black men were accused of raping 2 white girls on a train. In 1931, a group of white young adults went to police and claimed they were assaulted by 9 black teenagers on a train. Victoria Price and Ruby Bates also went to the authorities and accused the same 9 black men of rape. There was no evidence or medical proof of rape, but the men were still found guilty by an all-white jury. 8 of the 9 boys were given the death penalty. This trial is still used as an example of racial injustice in the American court system. The 1960s were a time of great change for America. Many Americans were fighting to end segregation and move forward to a unified and cohesive nation. Americans were starting to see that segregation was a cruel and outdated concept. Events such as the March on Washington, the abolishment of Jim Crow laws, the Voting Rights Act of 1965, the Civil Rights Act of 1968, and many other important events sparked a fire in the American people. The release of To Kill a Mockingbird ignited this fire by opening the discussion on racism and values in American society. Lee was inspired to write To Kill a Mockingbird after witnessing the Scottsboro Boys trial. To Kill a Mockingbird addressed several important issues in American society at the time. Racism and segregation were issues that were radically changing when To Kill a Mockingbird was released in 1960. This novel had a profound effect on the civil rights movement and the ending of segregation. This novel still has a huge influence on American society and is widely regarded as a very important piece of American literature.